Okay, so you're welcome to the Rhemabotics math class. Okay, so recently I was telling my students that everything in life has a mathematical foundation. Think about it. Yeah, it's true. Everything. The carpenter, before he creates that furniture, in medicine, the doctor treating a patient, the equipment they use, everything. Even in the beginning, spiritually speaking, God did a lot of math. I've always said it that God is the first mathematician and he is also the best. Yes, and he is the source of all knowledge. Men only discover knowledge, but God is the source. And don't forget, men are limited. Yes, men are limited. So, straight up, what's today's topic all about, or what is today's episode of the Rhemabotics math class? What is it all about? It's all about 10 valuable life skills you can acquire learning mathematics. So, you must not be a mathematician, but mathematics is important. The people, the policymakers, in the educational sector, they made mathematics and English language compulsory. They have a reason for doing that, and it's compulsory for every, young person in any of the, elementary schools. So there's a reason mathematics is compulsory for every human being. There's a reason it is compulsory. So there are some valuable skills you can get from mathematics, learning mathematics. So what I'm trying to do is to stir you up, increase your interest. A lot of persons that have lost interest in mathematics. Maybe while as an adult, while you were in school, you didn't see the need for mathematics. Please, I'm trying to rekindle it because you have children you give birth to, and they have to study mathematics. They have to learn it in school. So what do? You were never interested, but you give birth, and they have to study it. It's compulsory. Okay? So why should we learn mathematics? What are the skills? How beneficial is mathematics? Yes. What are the things we can acquire, the skills we can acquire, that is necessary in real life? So I came up with 10 valuable life skills you can acquire learning mathematics. Whether you're a student, a parent, an educator, wherever you are, these things are important, very, very important. Okay, so let's go. The first one, number one, is critical thinking. Critical thinking, so I'll just run through them. Then number two is problem solving. I'm very passionate about number two because in every mathematics class, there's always a problem to solve. And we keep solving problems. We don't stop. And that's how it is in real life. In real life, you're faced with problems on a daily basis, and you have to solve them. So mathematics gives you what we call problem solving skills. Okay, let's move forward. We have logical reasoning. I've always said it. There's a part of the brain, if you don't use it, it will be dormant. It will be in coma. I tell my students, that part of your brain will be in comatose, chilling in the fridge, in the refrigerator. Why? Because you refuse to use it. So you see a lot of lazy students, you give them class activity, you give them assignment, they don't do it. So there's a part of their brain that is not put to use. And that part of your brain has a lot to do with logical, reasoning. Your reasoning ability is not being activated whenever you don't solve mathematical problems as a young person. Okay, so it's very important we get engaged whenever we are given problems to solve. It's very important we get involved. Don't allow the smart kids, the smart ones in your class to do the problems and you just copy the solutions from them. No. Because you must take that responsibility to also solve life's problem. Yes, you cannot push your problems to others. There are problems in life you have to solve. Yes, you have to take responsibility. And that's what mathematics does to you. It gives you the opportunity to solve problems and it gives you the required problem solving skills. So apart from that, there's also logical reasoning. There are things to reason. There are things to think about. There are things to figure out, what to do. So logical reasoning is very, very important. And it's one of the skills you acquire in mathematics. So it's a quick one. It's not a long video. So I'll just run through the remaining ones. Number 4, decision making. Yeah, number 4, decision making. Number 5, attention to details. Yes, if you pay attention and you follow mathematical, processes and all the classes, you observe something that whenever you solve math problems, you come up with steps, and those steps are details, and you must pay attention to, and it's a life skill. Attention to details. Number 6, time management. Number 7, patience. Patience. I'm very passionate about patience because if you're not a patient person, you will not be able to do well in mathematics. Mathematics instills patience in you. Yes. Because for you to get a problem solved, you have to be a patient person to go through the processes. So there's another one, which is number 6. I call it, I've done number 6, time management. I've done 7, patience. Okay, number 8, I'll call it process skills. Process. Some persons don't like to follow process. They like to skip steps. And when you start engaging yourself in mathematical problems, there's something you observe. You have to follow process. Yes, you have to follow process. And it's a skill. Yes, it has a lot to do with patience. Process skills. So patience and process, they are related and they are connected. So if you're not a patient person, you will not like to go through processes. Yes, and you want to, get results overnight. And life is not like that. A lot of things that we desire in life, we need to follow the processes, the life, processes and stages, the things that we must do to get those particular results. So for example, having a baby, you must get married. You must make your wife pregnant. You must wait for 9 months before you will see the baby. So if you're not a patient person, if you don't have process skills, you will just skip those steps. You will not like to marry. You will just have a girlfriend, make her pregnant, and overnight you just want to have a baby. It doesn't work like that. I've always said it. Shortcuts in life will always put you in problem. And in math teaches you to follow processes. And to have, not like shortcuts are not good, but it's good to know the normal way of doing things. Because most shortcuts might likely put you in problem. Okay, so we move on to the next one, which is number 9, perseverance. Perseverance, resilience. Never die, as in never giving up on anything. That skill not to give up. You persevere, you push, resilience is a skill. If you keep solving mathematical problems, it's one of the skills you acquire. We move forward to number 9, which is diligence. Diligence. I hope I've not missed the number. So diligence, hard working, not being lazy. These are things you acquire. Lazy people will not like mathematics. If you're a lazy person, you will not like mathematics. You avoid it. So when you start, engaging in mathematical activities, there's something you observe about you. You will not be a lazy person at all. You'll be very diligent and hardworking. Okay. So finally, I think that the number 10, the mistake I made was that number 10 was diligence, not number 9. Diligence is not number 9. Is number 10. So thank you so much for being part of today's episode of the Rhemabotics math class. See you on the next. Thank you.